Welcome everybody to the Homeschool channel. Today's topic is the attack on homeschooling. So I'm going to discuss this a little bit. As most of you all know, I'm a Canadian homeschooler. One thing I've noticed over the years is there's not a lot of homeschoolers here in Canada compared to public schoolers. And here in Canada, our homeschool numbers are way smaller than America. There is over 36 million people that live in Canada. Around 60,000 of them are homeschoolers. That is a small percentage of the population. It is my goal to encourage people to homeschool and educate them about what homeschooling is. I have found a lot of people have false ideas about what homeschooling is about. Homeschooling is looked down on by many people. Most think homeschooling don't get you anywhere in life. Most think that homeschoolers have no social skills, and these are just two of the big myths about homeschooling. Many people don't know that there have been presidents that have been homeschooled. There's a lot of celebrities that homeschool their children. There's a lot of homeschool kids that go on to live successful lives. And grow up in a homeschooling environment leads to free-thinking adults. When kids are homeschooled, it takes a lot of peer pressure out of their lives, and being bullied isn't a worry. There's many, many, many plus sides to homeschooling people do not hear about. The propaganda against homeschooling is discouraging to many, that they don't even consider it for a moment or even look into the idea. I spent many years looking into homeschooling and thinking it over with my husband before I began homeschooling. Going into this, I didn't know anyone who was homeschooled and didn't know anyone who was homeschooling. Since I started homeschooling, I have met and talked with other homeschooling parents who I found encouraging and gave me hope that we can make homeschooling a thing again. And not all homeschoolers are Bible thumpers, as they call them. Many homeschoolers that I have met are not even religious at all. They just are taking a different approach than the mass majority of the population into educating their children. So there is another myth that is spread about homeschooling to discourage people that is not true at all. Over the years, I found it fascinating to look into history and how things work in the world. I found myself looking into all kinds of conspiracy theories, as they call them. Some I have found to be false, and some make a lot of sense. I can go into my opinions on different conspiracy theories in the future, but for today and for now I am sticking to the topic of homeschooling. One thing I have discovered in my research is the attack on families. With the struggles of life, it is already hard on families, but what I see is the family unit being ripped apart. The dad goes to work all day, which is normal, but work hours are getting longer in the world, whereas it has become more and more expensive to live. Moms are also going into work all day, so the kids are sent to public school and daycare. A lot of children are entered into daycare before they are even 1. Families barely see each other, and the little time that they are at home, they are tired from their days at work and school. I am so thankful I have the time with my kids that I have, watching them grow and learn. Teaching them is a real blessing. I love watching them learn and discover new things, seeing their personalities grow and them becoming confident in themselves. We live in a time where information is easy to get access to, where communication is at our fingertips. We can talk with people all over the world in real time. It is my goal to educate people about homeschooling and to inspire more parents to make the steps towards taking their children's education into their own hands. There is a lot of information and support for you if you make the decision to homeschool. We live in a place where we can homeschool. There are so many countries that have made it illegal to homeschool your children. We should be fighting to keep our rights that we have and take advantage of the fact that we still have the right to homeschool. Let's work forward towards getting people truthful information and encouraging others. Let's lift one another up and start forming communities. Divided we fall, but united we stand. As individuals, we have no strength, but as a family unit, we are powerful and can have the strength to get through anything the world throws at us. We can choose to love each other and support each other, build each other up. We all need love, support, and encouragement. I see a lot of tearing people down. Let's change that. Let's lift each other up. So to go into the family units being ripped apart a little further, so we have the dad going to work all day for long hours, and the moms are going to work all day, and the kids are spending all hours all day long at daycare, and when they reach school age at school. So kids get to spend the afternoons after school and weekends at home, which is not a lot of quality time to spend with your family. And as the children get older, what do? They get involved in extracurricular activities, sports, all that stuff, and they make friends. So they're spending that free time that they have away from school with their friends. So where's the family time? And especially in today's society, we see everybody into their phones and their tablets and the computers. Technology has overcome the human population. We no longer lift up actual human contact. And families are splitting apart, and you can see it. Look at the divorce rate. The divorce rates are sky high. Children are separated and split and go back from home to home. It's a mess of the family unit. And the family unit is one of the most important things in society, because as a family, you're strong together. The mom and dad lift each other up, they work together, they communicate, and they're responsible at making sure that their kids are taken care of and grow up to be confident human beings. I see this as a hard thing to accomplish with today's society, since mom and dad barely get time with their children. And because of this whole system that we grow up in, like I have 2 sisters and 2 other half sisters. I do not talk to any of them because of the way I grew up. My mom and dad divorced when I was 5 years old, and my dad pretty much wanted nothing to do with us. And me and my sisters all had our own friends and our own interests. I was at school all day, and then after school I had things I did. So I barely had time that I was at home, and I never spent quality time with my family. And that's a sad thing. And now I'm at a situation where I haven't built up any relationships with my sisters. And I see this in a lot of people I know. It's just you're split up all day and you don't get the time to build those relationships. Now, in the last 10 years, I have noticed with my family that we spend a lot of time together. I'm with my kids every day, and I've built strong relationships with all of them. And they build strong relationships with each other because they're not split apart by age. They have quality time together to play and to get along and learn. So that's my opinion on the family unit today and how homeschooling could strengthen the family unit. So I've created this channel to give people information about homeschooling, to encourage families and parents to homeschool and build those relationships with their children. And I hope to give out information so that people have a better idea of the different kinds of homeschoolings, the resources that are available. There's plenty of homeschoolers out there that you can talk to in your communities. You just need to know where to look. I found Facebook a really good place to find other homeschoolers, and then I came across Twitter, and I found a lot of homeschoolers on Twitter, and it's just good. I read a lot of blogs, I watch a lot of videos to get ideas about what other people are doing and how they're handling homeschooling. And one thing I've noticed is every homeschooler is different. And that's the beautiful thing about homeschooling, is you can adjust your homeschooling methods to best suit you and your children. And public school one teacher has to teach like 30 kids, and oftentimes not all the children are at the same spot. Many children get left behind and end up with failing grades because they don't have the opportunity. It's just too hard for one person to teach 30 kids. So this is one of the benefits to homeschooling. I have lots of one-on-one time with each of my children. If they have questions, there's only 5 of them, so it's easier to address each of their issues if they have any. So I have up a video about some of the myths of homeschooling. I have some videos up about reviews on some curriculum and other things. If you want to check them out, they're there. There'll be many more videos in the future. So thanks for listening. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you support the channel, give it a share on Twitter, Facebook, any social media site you might be on. I'd really appreciate it, and have a great day.
When life keeps falling and wonder where he is in all this mess, he's right there to guide you. Unseen, you're not alone. His light shines on the past that we're not shown. Lord, from this storm, as it poured, you made it cure. In an overcrowded mind, the hurt brings us down to where we reach for Him. Our God above has hands to heal, saves us from our faults and fears, giving us the peace that we so desperately need.